Your roof replacement is probably going to be one of the biggest investments that you make in your home this year. And if you're like most homeowners, you have questions, concerns, and maybe even sleepless nights wondering if you're making the right decisions. I'm Toby with NEPA Builders, and over the last 12 years, we've helped hundreds of families navigate this exact situation. So in this video, I'm going to answer the 7 most commonly asked questions that we hear so that you can move forward in confidence and protect what matters most to you and your family. So the first most commonly asked question that we get is, what is my roof going to cost to replace it? And so it really just depends on 2 or 3 critical things. And those things are, how high is the roof? How steep is it? Is there any complexities? And is it simple just like a straight roof, or are there multiple different sections? So that's part of it. And then also, are we doing something that's just more than the shingles? Maybe you need new plywood. So what we like to tell people is, using a 2,500 square foot home, which is pretty average, if it just needs shingles, then it's probably somewhere between $13,000 and $15,000. But if you need all new plywood on that same 2,500 square foot home, then it could be somewhere between $16,000 and $19,000. And those price ranges are considering, is it a ranch home? Is it a 2 or 3 story? And is it walkable, meaning that we could walk on it without having to harness up? Or is it like a 12 pitch, meaning it's going to be very difficult and we need to kind of move a ladder around to install it? So those are the driving factors to the price, but that'll give you an idea, most people an idea, of what it will cost to replace your roof. So the next most commonly asked question that we get is, do you guys do free estimates? And the answer is yes, we do free estimates. You'll get a full proposal written through Builder and all of the details will be in there, very descriptive, down to all of the nails and underlayments and things that really are what protecting the home underneath the shingles. So another very commonly asked question that we get is, my roof is 20 to 25 years old. Should I be thinking about replacing it now? Obviously, the answer here is it depends on a number of things, but when our shingles are lifetime warranted for 25 to 30 years, typically the lifespan is starting to get close to its end in that 20 to 25 year period. And the longer they last really depends on how well the inside of the attic is insulated and ventilated. So if I have 2 homes that are exactly the same, one home has adequate insulation and ventilation and the other one does not, then that could easily be the difference of 5 to 10 years of life expectancy for those shingles. So what we like to tell people is to be proactive, have an inspection done around that 20 to 25 year period. You know, you might get an answer that is, hey, your roof looks good and it looks like maybe you're going to get away with another 5 years from now. Or we may see things like curling shingles or granules coming off of them, which is an indication that they're very brittle and the next windstorm very well can rip them off. So get an inspection and consider being preventative and getting a roof replaced maybe a year or 2 before that life expectancy occurs, so you don't end up in a situation where that windstorm does come in the springtime after we have that freeze and thaw here in Northeast PA. It rips off a bunch of shingles and then we get rain and ultimately some damage. We've seen some of them last 30 plus years, and we have also seen some of them, go out of their life expectancy in about 20 years. So getting an inspection is what the smartest thing is to do. So another big question that we get is, what shingle manufacturer do you use? And there are a lot of really good shingle manufacturers out there. The one that we like to use the most and the best is Owens Corning Duration Series shingles. They have a great nail strip and a very long limited lifetime warranty. Our installers are very privy to the system. We're also Owens Corning preferred contractors, which means that you get a longer warranty when we use all of their components for the whole roof. So not just the shingles, but the caps and the venting and the underlayment and the starter shingles, all of those things. So with that said, there are other really great shingles on the market, and I'll tell you about those. CertainTeed's Landmark shingle is another right up there with the Owens Corning Duration Series line. Some people like those for all different reasons, but they have different colors as well. It makes them very attractive. GAF Timberline is also another really great shingle, right up there with the other 2 that we just mentioned. Again, sometimes people just like that name brand or they like those color schemes. So Atlas Pinnacle has a really good shingle as well. They have an algae protectant chemical, which a lot of them do, but that's kind of their bread and butter, is that they have a really good shingle for when you have maybe a north facing slope of your roof, and if you're getting a lot of algae. They pride themselves on their shingle being algae resistant, and they also have 150 mile per hour wind resistance. So another good shingle on the market. And then lastly, I would put IKO Cambridge in the category as well. Another good shingle, good warranty, win ratings. So those 5 are really what I would consider the top 5 shingle manufacturers and brands that we use here in Northeast Pennsylvania. Our preference is always going to be the Owens Corning Duration Series shingle, because our installers are so hip to the installation process and all of the components, plus the fact that we're an Owens Corning preferred contractor. But if your design includes any of those shingles, we'll be happy to put them on for you. Now, before we continue with more of your roofing questions, I want to make something clear. Everything I'm covering here is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to making the right roofing decisions for your home. In our consultation process, we go deep into your specific situation, your home's unique needs, and help you create a roofing solution that will protect your family's investment for decades. If you're in Northeast Pennsylvania and you're serious about getting your roof project done right the first time, click the first link in the description to visit our website and schedule your free consultation. Okay, now back to the questions. So another commonly asked question we get is, how long is it going to take to replace my roof? Usually they could be done in one day. If we have a similar home that we talked about earlier, 2,500 square feet, it's a ranch home, easily we'll get that roof replaced in a day. Now, if that roof needs plywood replaced, maybe that takes a second day. And if we're on a roof that's 2 stories and it's twice that size, then maybe we get into 2 to 3 days. And if it needs plywood or more framing corrections, potentially we could be there for a week. So we could say 1 to 5 days, but for an average roof replacement, you could almost say a day or 2 and the whole project will be complete. So another important question that we get asked is, if we hire you guys, when can you start? Within a week to 2 weeks. So it really just depends on the permitting process. You know, we can get a permit back in a day or in a week, and then we're going to schedule the crews between where they are now and where they're coming next. So getting a shingle roof started from contract signing, typically within a week or 2, and we're at your home replacing your roof. So the last question, super important, very common, is, does your company offer financing? And the answer is yes, and it's actually quite simple. So on our website's Get a Quote page, you will actually see next to the form fill information, the financing section. And you could simply take yourself all the way through that process. And it's a soft credit pull. So it's not a hard credit pull where it's going to affect your score negatively. That part won't happen until you actually decide to hire us and commit to a loan offer. So super easy to see if you do qualify for a loan right from our website without even having to call us. And we'll actually get your information in the event that you do qualify. And then we could begin the conversation of setting up a consultation and getting you an estimate. Now look, I gave you a lot of information here, but every roof is different and every homeowner's situation is unique. The questions that we covered here are just the beginning of what goes into making the right decision for you and your home. Your roof does way more than just keep the rain out. It's covering and protecting everything that you've worked for and everything that matters to you. When you choose NEPA Builders, you're not just getting a bunch of contractors, you're getting a partner who understands that your home is part of your family's legacy. If you have more questions and you're ready to get started, click the link in the description and reach out to us, or even apply for financing right on our website. I'm Toby with NEPA Builders. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.